Hi friends, welcome back to Black Cat Folk Magic. All kind people are welcome here. I just wanted to do another reading in the woods for the collective on this gorgeous morning. It is spectacular out here. And I just wanted to see what messages that Spirit had for us right now. We have the Tower. We have the Three of Swords. Please don't click away. We have the Fool. See? We have the Four of Wands. See? We have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. So, first of all, I want to acknowledge that when I talk about hope, that I'm coming from a very privileged place right now. There are a lot of horrible, horrible things going on in the world. And some people are already experiencing the worst. Some people are already experiencing hell on earth. And they don't want to hear about redemption. They don't want to hear about hope. And I understand that. And I do not at all diminish what they're going through. I acknowledge it. But clearly the message from Spirit here is one of hope. Okay. So where we're sitting right now with the Tower is actually a really good thing because it's a change that you can't come back from. Let's hope. Because I think there's a lot of things going on that we need to get past. We need to finally learn our lessons. How many times can we go through something and not learn what we're supposed to learn from it as a collective, right? We're just making the same mistakes over and over and over again. And Spirit is saying, listen, we can't keep building on this foundation that's shaky. It's built on sand, not on rock. So it's never going to support it. It's never going to support the way we need it to support. So, and I know that a lot of us are feeling this right now, right? Just heartbroken, defeated. But Spirit is saying when we go in to rebuild this foundation, we need to do it with an open heart, knowing that we've learned the best that we can from what we've been through, and so we can build better. Okay, we can set a foundation that's going to support us and the generations after us in a much better way, because I don't think anybody would argue that the walls are crumbling around us right now, right? The Fool. So yeah, I think the message strongly is, please don't forget where we came from. Don't forget all the lessons that you need to learn, because that was the point, and we've done it over and over again, and that's why we failed, is because we don't learn these lessons as a collective. But when we're going to rebuild, let's do it with an open heart. Let's do it without the burden of what we've been through, of the victimization, of the heartache. Let's do it from a healed place. Let's do it from a place of celebration, of knowing that we're doing it right this time. There is definitely a huge transformation happening in humanity, on the planet, as the universe experiencing itself in human form. There's a huge upheaval, but it's good. I mean, it's not good while we're going through it. I acknowledge that. But something had to change. Something had to change. The way that we treat each other, the way that we treat this planet, the way that we pretend that our short-sighted goals are the only things that exist, that money is important, that cable TV is important, that the stock market is important. We've lost sight of this paradise that we have, that was just given to us We don't even acknowledge it. We tear it down. Everywhere around me, woods are being torn down for cheap housing that's going to fall apart in 12 years because, people didn't realize when they were watching HGTV that it was a commercial for Home Depot. The entire point of that piece of media is to make you dissatisfied with what you have, so you'll pay them money to chase this dragon of, I finally made it. You were already here. You were born into this beautiful planet. You were born into this paradise. And a lot of us have fallen into the trappings of everything that distracts us from that. So we feel a permanent sense of dissatisfaction and unhappiness and the need for more and more and more and more. Okay? And so I think one of the ways to reconcile that is to tear it all down and start over. I mean that metaphorically, of course, figuratively. In some ways. But also I need you to recognize that the sooner we start, the better, because, we can't get this back once it's gone. And so that's the spirit in which we need to move forward in rebuilding what humanity was supposed to experience, what the universe in human form was supposed to experience. I think it's a crucial thing. And I know that, it's easier said than done a lot of times. So many of us are hanging on by a thread. So many of us are just trying to put food on the table. We're not trying to make a big difference. We're just trying to feed our kids and send them to school and hope that the world they experience is better than ours. But that's not going to happen on its own. We need to do that. But we also need to move forward in the spirit of rebuilding in the right way. But we have the Four of Wands here, which that's exactly what that is. It's a new beginning. It's a good, solid foundation. That's what four means. It's celebration. It's freedom. So I think the potential is there for us to do it this time. We just have to really want to. But I think we might. And I think that's why there's so much upheaval right now. It's sort of like, when your body catches a virus, you start to have really high fevers, and you start to cough things up, and you start to sweat to get things out of your body, and it just looks like the most devastating thing in the world. But really what you're doing is exorcising that virus, getting rid of that so you can heal. And it would be really bad if you didn't have that fever to fight off that virus. If you just accepted it. Because if you accept it without fighting, it will take over and it will win. So think of it sort of in that way, that we're trying to push this virus out. This virus of hatred and greed and self-absorption and just losing sight of why we're here and what we have been given already. We have the Nine of Pentacles, which I love. It's about, meeting your own needs, taking care of yourself, bringing in your own abundance, doing your part, okay? So I think the advice here is working from the inside out. I think we need to all of us, sit down with ourselves and examine the way we look at the world and why we do that and what our place in the world really is, and start doing that work from the inside out. It'll move out to us helping other people explore those things about themselves. It'll move out to us helping people who are not in the position to do that kind of work and just meet basic needs of people, until we're collaborating in a way that will sustain this new foundation. It's really important that we do this. It's really important that we do some self-examination. And it's really important that we open our eyes to what we've been given and what we've chosen to do with it. It's sobering. It's a sobering thought. I'm going to pull one more card. They're kind of sticking together. I think it's the humidity. Oop. Okay. Look. Here comes the sun. See? I think it's possible, friends. I think it's possible. I think it's possible that we can fight off this virus and heal. And I'm not one for blind hope. I'm not one for blind optimism. Or toxic positivity. I've had a severe anxiety disorder since I was a very small child. And I think that's what they called it, but what it really is a deep, deep intuition. But even I, at this juncture, as much tumult as I'm experiencing on the surface, deep down in me, I feel peace. I feel a deep sense of peace because I believe we can get there. I believe we can do this. And it all starts with enduring the lessons that we need to go through right now. Well, I hope this helped you, and I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, and I'll talk to you later. Take care.